Okay, I know this is ghetto, but I gotta get my nephew to learn how to put images and videos inside a video like this. So I'm just holding the phone up to the screen. I was talking to my daddy earlier, telling him about the Strait of Hormuz, which is right here. That's Iran. That's the Strait of Hormuz. This little area right here is the Strait of Hormuz. Right there, they control that. 20 to 30% of all the oil in the world goes through that little point right there. Because look at all these countries. They go from Iraq to the Persian Gulf, down through the Strait of Hormuz, then out to the open markets. I think that's Qatar right there. It's got a little bit of oil it's sent out to the Persian Gulf, through the Strait of Hormuz, United Arab Emirates, Saudi Arabia, Persian Gulf. It got to go through the Strait of Hormuz. And Iran controls that. So for the first time in history, they closed it. Unless you are a Russian or Chinese vessel, you're not getting through there. So that's why oil prices are rising today. But look, there's more to the story people are not saying. Over here, the Red Sea, Yemen, who is in good with Iran. You could basically say Iran controls Yemen. That's their big brother right there. Yemen, this is called the Al-Baghdadi Strait. Let me show you. See that? Wait. That little strait right there, Al-Mandabi. I think that's how you say it. Let's see if I can get it. The name to pop up. Bab al-Mandabi, Mandab Strait. That's right off the coast of Yemen. Now look at all these countries. They also sent oil through here. Saudi Arabia, this is the Red Sea. And to get out, you gotta go through this strait, which is controlled by Yemen, which is basically controlled by Iran. They are really good with Iran. This group here is Ansar Allah. They've been fighting against Philadelphia for years and years and years. They shut down the Red Sea last year, except for Russian and Chinese vessels. Those are the only people who could use the Red Sea. So all these countries want to bring oil to the market. They gotta get it to the Red Sea, and it goes down through here. This is a choke point. That's what the problem is. That's why, I mean, you're risking a lot knowing that they can shut this down. They shut this straight down last year, but only about, they say 6 to 12% of the world's oil supply goes through here. Maybe it was more, but since it's been shut down since last year, that's why it's only 6 to 12%. And these countries have been using the Persian Gulf, going through the Strait of Hormuz right here, and getting their oil to market. But now that's over, unless your ship is from Russia or China. And that was a big risk. I don't know, maybe they thought they was playing. I kind of thought they was playing too, because they had a little 12-day war last June, but they didn't shut down the Strait of Hormuz. 20 to 30% of the world's oil supply goes through the Strait of Hormuz. And I'm gonna look later. I just thought of that question. Is the amount of the oil supply that goes through here, this Al-Mandabi Strait, is it so low because it's been cut off for so long? And maybe that's why it's 20 to 30%. Because I looked today, it said 20 to 30% of the world's oil supply goes through the Strait of Hormuz. I always heard it was 20% until today when I looked, it said 20 to 30%. So maybe when the Red Sea got shut down, they started using the Persian Gulf more, which raised it up to the 30% level. But now Iran has shut the Strait of Hormuz, which is a very important artery in trade for oil. Unless you're Russia and China or anybody. Other words, they big allies who aren't attacking them for no reason. That's why I want to show you the Strait of Hormuz. And why it's so important, especially now, is because this strait right here is already closed. And basically, Iran controls both. And it's all because of these people here. They got it labeled, but that's really Palestine until we stop letting them run our affairs. We're going to keep suffering. We had no reason to attack them people.